Alrighty guys, what's up? So, the other day we sold a 1.8 turbo Volkswagen to a local customer who buys a lot of European vehicles off of us for parts. And instead of $30 delivery for fuel, which he was just right up the line, just out of our $20 or 20 mile free delivery range, he had this with, give me 1 second. Well, charger's plugged in, so I won't worry about unplugging it. This off-brand, bought it at an Amish store up his way. 6.0 amp hour battery. Most definitely an off-brand. One of them Amazon ones. The tab busted off, which he told me about. I mean, wow, I actually kind of like that. I just took the paddle trigger out, which it requires a really, really small punch that I didn't have, so I just purposed this really small Allen key that I found in the punch and chisel drawer. And yeah, we drove that tiny little punch out, or roll pin out, and we took our paddle off. So a big complaint about a lot of the Milwaukee fan guys is, you know, the paddle versus, oh, my snap-on aren't close at reach. But, you know, versus your snap-on having just a trigger to hit. Nothing to really fall in your way, because right there is where it sits when that pin is in and it's just flopping around. So getting down in motor bays, this here catches your wiring harnesses and whatnot. It just gets to be annoying. So you could call that an upgrade right there, I guess. For starters, I guess that don't matter, but yeah, there you go. It's kind of an upgrade, taking your paddle trigger off and just using the switch, which I did not know the older style Milwaukee had this lock, so you're not bumping your trigger here when it's in storage or whatever. But for starters, I cleaned up the head with one of the snap-on tool wipes. Took it apart, which is just, excuse me, you take the snap ring off, and then you can simply just pop your head straight out the back, drop it right down in your hand. The mechanism stays in. It's just like a little dual selector pawl with a pin drove down through the anvil into it, and it's got two little pins on one side and another pin on the other that go down into the head for some odd reason, and then just this washer here under the under your snap ring. Other than that, this little, I don't know, collar for your gear, that is just sitting on a little head that rotates back and forth with, I guess, an octagonal ball on top that rotates in the bottom of this, ultimately moving it back and forth, driving this around. So I took it all apart. It was caked in old grease and dirt and grime, and it just spun super slow. And he thought it was, you know, all but burnt up, so it was listed on the market page for $60. The gun with this battery and a charger, just your standard charger. It's all a couple years old, he said. As you see, it's used and abused, seen better days. Already cleaned all the breathing holes and whatnot out the other day when I got done cleaning the head up. And after cleaning the head up, it spins just as fast as my snap-on ratchet. And the dead giveaway that this wasn't an almost burnout ratchet, which is why he sold it for cheap, was that, you know, he thought it was burnout because the head was spinning so slow. But when I went to break away a seat bolt on this 04 Jeep that I was scrapping, the snap-on one didn't do it, but I need a rebuild kit for it. As long as it doesn't start on the broken off tooth, it works fine. But yeah, at first grab, the snap-on one was on the tooth. That was broke off and it didn't do it, and I didn't feel like breaking it even more. The 1/4 inch didn't do it, which is my go-to for the snap-on ratchets. So I grabbed this, figured this would be the first time I test it after cleaning it, and it busted it right loose without a problem and zipped it off. It is not the fastest ratchet, but it's one of the older ones. I don't know if it's the high torque or what it is. You know, you can't read absolutely nothing as that is gone there. But yeah, just the M12 3/8 ratchet. Super strong, super stout, heavy duty. As you see, it's been through the ringer a time or two, so I cleaned it up and made it look a little better than what it did. Yeah, as you see down the inside there, it's still pretty caked in dirt and shit. But anywho, we're going to open it up and see if we can clean the inside. These screws are still caked in polishing compound and everything else. This guy had a body shop, so he did a little bit of everything himself. And I think that's one of the reasons he thought it was burnt out, because it spun so slow. But it was really, everything was just caked in polishing compound. I mean, I don't know if you can see this or not. It almost looks corroded. No, that is all polishing compound, guys. If I had my little pick here, I would show you. But yeah, it's just, everything was covered in polishing compound, so. We're going to get this ripped apart, and stay tuned. We'll see you then. They are super full. Super full of polishing compound and dirt. These screws are. It is ridiculous, guys. I wish you had a little better view. They're all nasty full. I'll get everything pulled apart here and you'll see it. I don't think this thing has ever been taken apart. Now, before I pull it apart, I always found best pulling these things apart when they're factory, or you think they weren't pulled apart before, due to all of your Loctite, excuse me, all of your Loctite being present on the bolts, and them just coming out the way they did. All full of dirt and, yeah, well, and not rust and corrosion. In this case, it was polishing compound. It was so full of that forever that there is absolutely no rust on this tool whatsoever. Anywho, I found best when it comes to taking them apart, just find yourself something stout and make sure you're holding both sides so it does not fall apart on you and fall into pieces. And next thing you know, you're not sure what goes where, but because by all means, I'm not some tiny tool expert tearing these things apart. I'm just, you know, a car mechanic. But when it comes down to the basics, we can do these types of things. So, to an extent, here we are. Yep, I believe that'll be it. Wow, this is what I was talking about right here, guys. That is all just polishing compound. Like I told you, I cleaned this tool up. It was black. Look at this motor, it's covered. Everything here is covered in polishing compound. It is just nasty. Super nasty. Look at the motor here. I mean, it is just disgusting. Little motherboard, circuit board, whatever, it's all. Yeah, we're going to clean this up and do a further review. Stay tuned, guys. Alrighty, now we're back with some napkins and rags and whatnot, and I guess we're just going to pull all of our guts out just like this. Everything just looks so nasty down in there, it's not even funny. But yeah, we're gonna I guess, oh sorry, bumped into you folks. I guess we're gonna see what we can do about cleaning this up. I mean, you see how nasty it is in there. The back of the motherboard, the motor and whatnot. Like I said, guys, it's all honestly, it's just all polishing compound. It's nasty how it's everywhere, but we're going to see if we can blow it off to start and go from there. Alright, so we blew it off. We're able to clean the motherboard, which most of that stuff blew right off. It was just polishing compound. As you see, I didn't get to this side of the switch yet, but I started cleaning right there at the top of the switch and right at the bottom, so we're not getting stuff down in the actual switch. It blew off pretty decent. Ultimately, that's just like a, you could say like a fan. That's all the gearing and whatnot. Blew the motor out. So we're just going to kind of wipe everything down, clean it up a little bit, and toss it back together, and I guess hope it works. Stay tuned. We're going to fast forward this part as well. So, everything seems to be pretty clean. I'm going to get that light cleaned off. Sorry, that was the door slamming shut. The wind's pretty fierce around here. They got some stout soldering going on here. I think this thing will be good to just toss it back together. We don't need to do nothing here. Well, that can be cleaned up after we put it back together. Yeah, motor seems to look pretty clean. Anywho, folks, there it is. So, all cleaned up, nice and shiny in there now. Anywhere you can see metal, it's shiny-ish. Someone let me know below in the comments what the part number is supposed to be on this beast, because I don't know. Kind of curious. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below as to how you like not having the paddle selector there. Because right now I'm undecided as to whether or not I'm going to keep that. So, you guys let me know what's more efficient. Keep it looking like snap-on with the quick little trigger there, or do you... So I guess maybe the trigger is more efficient, just because if you hit it on that hard angle, sometimes it wants to lock in. Not physically lock, but yeah, this is more so directing a force perfectly downward. I think we're going to leave this switch on, but there it is, guys. I honestly have no complaints for just getting tossed in the bill for free for fuel charge. Oh, the light kicked on. I don't know if the light ever kicked on the first time I threw a battery in it. Is it supposed to do that, guys? That's cool. I did, because it looked like it was crammed down in an engine bay 100 times over the years. I did. Come on, focus. I did cut out around the light so it is more like illuminated. So that's really cool. But my guess is it works because the light turns on, which it never did the first time I put a battery in it. Only when I hit the trigger. So let me know your thoughts on having the selector here in the bottom or taking it and keeping it off. And let me know your thoughts, or let me know the part number if you guys have it below. And let me know your thoughts on these here batteries, because the guy that tossed us in the deal said the Amish store right up the road from him sells these for like 10 bucks a piece. So you guys let me know in the comments if these here cheap aftermarket batteries hold up. I'm going to go buy like 6 of these 6 amp hour batteries and use them for the rest of the Milwaukee tools that I have, because the little cheap 2.0 amps that come with your typical battery tools, they suck. So smell the fresh grease. It smells beautiful. There it is, guys. Sorry it's so such a long video. I will chop everything up, or I did chop everything up and speed it up a little bit for you, but that's it, guys. Let me know what you think about having this $60 battery ratchet 6.0 amp hour aftermarket Milwaukee battery and a charger that was valued at $60 tossed into my car sale for a value to me of like 30 bucks. So to me it's valued at $30 for this ratchet, this battery, and the charger. I can't beat it because now I got a second charger, a spare battery, which is a big one that does in fact give this more power. So it works perfect, guys. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if this was anything that you thought was interesting, because we're going to start tearing everything down and rebuilding it and cleaning tools as things get older. So make sure you follow the channel for more, y'all. Autotech Matt, Eurotech Matt, out.